Oversight Committee chairman.
This is not a real investigation if you're handing out immunity agreements like candy. The fact that they elect Hillary Clinton's chief of staff to be also a witness, an immunity recipient, and sit in on Hillary Clinton's interview is just shameful. Why is a witness interviewed by the FBI able to sit with Hillary Clinton during her interview? That's just, Lady Justice is just different for Hillary Clinton than it is everybody else.
And just to be clear, the DOJ gives this immunity at the beginning of this, and then obviously the FBI does not get to the place where they're going to prosecute.
And I think the real problem for people watching at home is that why would you have to give immunity to people if there is nothing to hide here? If everyone could come out and be transparent about the process, critics would say, well, why did immunity have to be granted? Cheryl Mills is getting a lot of the press on this because she was the chief of staff. But this Brian Pagliano, who deleted the emails. That's the most fascinating. This is the guy that deleted the emails and then misled Congress about it. He initially said he didn't, then went back, had to change his testimony. So I feel like this guy really felt he was in hot water, and then he had to follow an order later on to use this special program and proof all the emails are gone.
So is the BleachBit guy, that he's on this list? And remember that these people don't have security clearance. And they were dealing with classified emails on this server, Lisa.
Well, I think it raises a whole host of questions, and particularly, too, these are going to be the folks that are going to serve with Hillary Clinton or administration if she becomes president of the United States. Cheryl Mills, Huma Abedin. And there's also increased scrutiny, or there should be increased scrutiny about Cheryl Mills and Huma Abedin and what role they played, and the fact that you have Cheryl Mills and her work with the Clinton Foundation while serving at the Clinton Foundation, or Huma Abedin, who worked at the Clinton Foundation, the State Department, and Teneo as well. So it raises a lot of questions about that. It also puts Comey, FBI Director Comey, in the hot seat, who's coming before Congress next week, and sort of his dealings and his discretion and his investigation. It raises a lot of questions that I'm sure are going to be brought to the forefront next week.
Well, in fact, Charles, late today, 5:30, we get another document dump from the FBI about these interviews, these 302 interviews. We're going through them to see what's in them. But this is kind of a thing that happens, this document dump. It's traditional in Washington. But for the FBI to say they're being transparent in this investigation, that doesn't appear to be true.
Something ironic is happening. It's not just we got used to a year of the drip for Hillary's reputation, for honesty, transparency, etc. But now that is happening to Comey's reputation. He came into this as a shining knight for what he had done in the Reagan years, especially if you do something that appears to be sort of against the conservative consensus. You get to be a Washington hero. But playing off that, everything that we have seen since the press conference where he said he wasn't going to prosecute makes you wonder what in God's name was going on. If the Watergate inquiry had been handled the way that this is, giving out immunity, allowing the witness, the sort of the co-conspirator, if you like, to act as the principal's lawyer, as Cheryl Mills was, it is truly scandalous. And because it's an election year and this is all going to be swept away, if she wins, nobody will remember it, and if she loses, nobody will care.
We'll see how much it's covered. It's a big story. Next up, the fight between